What keeps me awake at night are the opportunities I missed. You take chances in life, and sometimes you make mistakes. And those mistakes, you might think about them. You might stay awake at night sometimes, but I think what you stay awake at night thinking about more are the chances you didn't take. When you let fear, when you let cowardice stop you from doing something that you wanted to do. I was thinking about crushes, crushes in primary school, middle school, high school. When you're a kid, you have all these crushes. And I remember there was a girl in middle school that I had a crush on. We had literature class together. We went outside in the sunlight, sat on the grass. We were reading Romeo and Juliet, and we got up to go back inside of the school. And she was walking in front of me, and she put her hands out like this, and she swayed her hips as she was walking. Game over. I was hooked. Ooh, I was hooked. I had a big crush on her, but I never told her. Still to this day, I haven't told her because I don't really keep in contact with her. It's not a conversation that you really have and that you bring up years later, typically. But that's a regret that I have. Here's the thing is, if I had told her in school, maybe I would have had a 1% chance of being successful. But by not telling her, I had a 0% chance. Well, one's better than zero, right? And at the end of the day, even if she said no, what really would have happened? Well, maybe she would have been flattered that someone liked her, even if she didn't like them back. Maybe she would have said no, and I would have felt some embarrassment for a while. Sorry for the noise. There's a speaker outside where they're advertising on the bicycle going by. But at the same time, what else would have happened? I would have learned that maybe she didn't like me. So instead of spending 3 or 4 years having a crush on this person and focused on this person, those 3 or 4 years could have been used pursuing someone who might have had an interest in me. Could have been used maybe doing a bit more fishing to find a good match for me at that point. So I regret that. And it wasn't the first time either. Back when I was in high school, I had a neighbor I liked. Never told her. Years later, when I was living in Mexico, I told her. We were talking on Facebook, and I told her that I liked her when I was in high school. And she told me that I should have told her because I think she said her mother said I was a good boy and she should date someone like me. So I actually would have had a chance. But again, too chicken shit in high school. Didn't have the confidence. Too shy, too worried about being embarrassed. And these are the things that keep you awake at night when you get older. These are the things that you think about. Those missed opportunities in life. So that's one thing I always tell my students is shoot your shot. Take your chance. If you like someone, go for it. And here's the thing. In today's world, I think you'll probably be okay telling someone you like them. Look, back in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s, teenagers were, I think, worse than they are now in terms of how they treat each other emotionally. I'm not saying that they're not bad now. Kids are always going to be kids and be jackasses, but I think with teens growing up and on the social media apps that they're using now and surrounded by the media that they're consuming, the movies and the TV shows, I think teens these days are a bit more sensitive than we were back in the day. So I don't think it's likely that people are going to be like, ha, 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 ha. No. I think most likely you pull someone aside, you say, hey, I'm shooting my shot here, but I think you're a lovely person. I would love to spend time with you and get to know you. I heard that you're single, and I thought, maybe I have a chance. I just want to put it out there and see. And I think most people will say either yes, or they'll say no in a nice way. You're going to have very few people who are just actively jackasses, okay? So shoot your shot. Take your chance. Otherwise, you're going to wake up in 20 years, balding if you're a guy, I guess, thinking about the times that you were too scared to take your chance, whether it be on a crush, whether it be on a business venture, whether it be on a trip somewhere new and exotic. Take your chance. Don't be scared. Don't let fear stop you. I think it was Daphne Moon from Frasier. I think that was where I heard something like this, but um, it's not the things that you do that you regret, it's the things that you don't do that you regret. Or the worst thing in life is to live with regrets. I think it's something along those lines. I forgot the exact quote, but the meaning is the same. Take your chance. Have a great life. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.